It is Monday once again, the 15th of July. We're halfway through the month of July and summer. A beautiful Monday. We hope you had a great weekend. We thank you for joining us today. A lot of people do join us on cable Charter Channel 8, where we can be seen 6 days a week throughout the day. We're also on blip.tv as well as YouTube. Just enter the date of the show that you want to view. And on Facebook. And if you like us on Facebook, you'll get updates of when each new show is loaded. And we do want to remind you that if you have any ideas or comments for topics or for a guest, you can email our producer, Leanne Alt, at owatonnatoday@charter.net, or you can phone her at 390-5751. And we would like to welcome back the Festival of the Arts as a supporter of the Owatonna Today Show. And a reminder, the Owatonna Today Show is giving away this calendar. It is, let me get it right here so we get it angled in. It is called Hot Looks for a Cure. It is for cancer funding. It's a 2014 calendar. It's 14-month calendar. It's available throughout the area. If you would like more information about it, you can email us at Owatonna Today, again, at charter.net. We're going to be having drawing for the winner of this on Mondays, and if you like us on Facebook as well, you can sign up there. We're going to be giving this away. It is from pictures of firemen, policemen, farmers throughout the area, and they've dedicated their page to someone they know who has had cancer, so that is a worthy cause. We have a very interesting show coming your way today. Former Owatonna native and artist Micah Bloom has produced a documentary film that is going to be shown at the library. Mary Gontarek is going to be along and tell us about the library's affiliation for that. And it is time once again for the Owatonna Arts Center Secret Garden Tour. We're going to be giving you a preview of one of the beautiful homes that's going to be featured on that tour, the home of Leanne and Anne Cummins, and that's going to be in our second segment. We're going to check in with some of our great sponsors, and then we'll be back to talk with Micah and Mary, so please stay with us.
Hello, I'm Shawn McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltfett of Horizon Eye Care Professionals. Eye care you can trust. We're proud supporters of Owatonna Today.
We are back with our first guests, Micah Bloom and Mary Gontarek. And Micah, thank you for coming by today and telling us about this very interesting film. It's called Codex. What does Codex refer to, and how did you come up with that name?
So Codex really is the name of the invention of this invention, which is
it's a book.
It's a book. It's what we would call a book.
Mm-hmm.
But before this, we had things like scrolls on paper. But there was this discovery and a way to bind on the spine like this. So we have kind of recto verso, both sides of the paper you can see, and then bind varying widths to many pages or leaves. So that's kind of, I guess, 2,000 years old. The Romans kind of came up with it.
The word codex.
So that's what codex.
Codex. A bound word.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Right. So.
Now that does not tell us about your project.
not too much, except that books are the center of the project.
Okay. All right. And what is your documentary about? What's the topic?
Yeah. So maybe I'll start, back with kind of how the story began. That will move us into the topic of the film. So. In 2011, there was a really large and disastrous flood in Minot, North Dakota, and my family had just moved there. we were just there for really less than a month before I started noticing. It was right after the flood, so I started noticing as I was riding my bicycle, seeing these books. And there were books on the road, there were books in the trees, there were books in the ditches, along the railroad tracks. And I started seeing hundreds of them, and they really were kind of pulling on me emotionally. I was really, they were out of their place, they were out of their context. And so since when I was young, I was taught to respect books and keep them in their place, and I saw them flapping in the wind. And so they started to seem like bodies to me. And so I really thought, wow, something should be done, something should happen here. And it was a very surreal kind of thing to see these books, some of them, like I said, in trees, some up 15 feet in the air in trees.
And nobody was going out trying to collect them and pick that up?
Right. So, there's so much kind of trash all over, and the, really those were, not the highest priority.
There was trash all over, but it was particularly the books that touched you.
But that really pulled me in. And so I thought, since I come from a painting and drawing background, I thought, what can I do? How can I express these feelings and kind of deal with what I have here? And so it seemed like to use a time-based medium, like film, that we can kind of tell some type of story. So I started trying to work on what would that story be, and tried to use those around me. I've never done a film, so it's my first film.
So have you had any experience with doing any kind of video or filming?
Very, very little.
Okay.
Very little. This was really the first kind of large project, so I would need a lot of things. So I tried to find, I work at the university there, teach in the art department, and so I started asking students who were into videography and digital things, and started to kind of build a team that went out and then tried to find a story. And so that story...
It's a great experience for the students as well.
Yeah, wonderful. It was really fun working along with them. They were helping me, and I was able to kind of bring us all together. So about 18 students or so worked with me along on the project.
Now, did they get extra credit for that?
So, well, not exactly. Certainly on their resumes they did, but some of them I didn't have in class. But there were many willing volunteers. So I started to see these books, and then the story kind of came along that there's this vigilante type group that organizes, and then using kind of anthropological, forensic anthropology techniques, they go out in these suits and start to collect these volumes, and they use these methodologies where they're cataloging, giving identification numbers, trying to find out. We use the computer and databases and such to log all of our information to find out. So we've collected about 580 or so some books so far, and so we're filming them as they're doing this.
Okay.
So.
And filming them, showing where you found them in the trees, so people can see the debris.
Right. So the film kind of follows that team as they go through that process.
And how long did it take you from start to finish, inception to completion?
Right. So really, the shooting, starting right there in September of 2011, all the way into February of this year, and then post-production work has happened in this, going through the spring and early summer. So.
And where did the funds come for that? Where did you get?
So it's a lot of different places. I mean, it's expensive, probably about $10,000 or so.
Really?
Expensive. So I was both director and producer for the film. So that kind of is
you didn't have to hire someone for that.
A task. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't know anything. So I had to start. I was writing the grants as well as trying to direct kind of the artistic parts of the project. So writing grants. We did a Kickstarter. We raised about $4,000 through a Kickstarter, a crowdsourcing crowdfund campaign. So that's where some of the money came from. So all little places, individual donors.
And that's good when you did that. It also brought it to the forefront. People were aware of it.
Right.
So when it was finished, they did want to see the finished product. Now, in Minot, have you had any other publicity for it up there? Has people showed some interest, some TV or radio stations that you get publicity?
Right. Yeah. So we have had opportunities to be on the television, little shows such as this, kind of noon shows and different things there, and through the internet, some things. So a little bit.
So where else do you plan on showing the film besides it's going to be at the Owatonna Public Library? Are you going to be traveling around the area promoting it?
Right. So the film actually premiered in Minneapolis the 24th and 25th of June.
That'd be exciting for you.
So that was really fun, really fun. And then and this is kind of a part of the premiere too. It's really this time as we're bringing it first time to these different cities. We've showed a couple of different places. And we've been in Iowa City, been outside of Chicago and Wheaton, and we had a showing of an early kind of version in Minot.
How has it been received?
So I think really it's been a really strong and positive reception, and that's been delightful for me. And people have really various kind of takes on it. It's kind of a multivalent work in that people kind of interpret from different angles.
Sure.
So.
Well, that's going to be very rewarding for you.
So it's really fun. It's really fun and gratifying to be able to share something which has a kind of longest.
Yes. Oh, we have a clip.
Yeah.
That's right. We don't want to miss that. We do have a clip.
You can talk over it.
Sure.
I completely forgot about that clip. Otherwise, I would have
That's all right.
thrown it to you sooner.
Yeah. So we see these books as we're seeing the clip. Some of them, of course, are submerged, so we film them underwater. We see the insects that are kind of taking over and repurposing these books as they are in the trees or on the ground, in the water.
Black forest.
And so, So sometimes we see text that's, displaced.
When we come back, we're going to have how long? 2 minutes when we come back.
We're on audio. We have 2 minutes left of this segment. You keep talking.
So again, a really beautiful score done by Eric Anderson and Josh Collins, and a student of mine and a fellow colleague at the university that plays really great cello on the piece. So it was all original score, and we a lot of it's kind of has a slower pace. It has a kind of poetic documentary kind of feel, where we just see these images. They see the images and such.
So Mary, you're going to tell us the wheres, the wins, and the course. So we're going to have to move fast on that.
So, Mary, you can talk right now because your audio is on.
And we're going to be showing the film at the library this coming Friday at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a really special event for us because we're normally closed on a Friday evening. Ooh. So this is going to be really fun. So we hope that people will show up to see Micah's film and to have a discussion with Micah about the film. So it's going to lead to a lot of good.
Are you going to have any DVDs at all of that released?
There are no DVDs right now to release. We're kind of doing showing these only kind of live, group kind of theater type settings right now. But that will come, I think, at some point. So we're just on the very first.
And when that happens, we want to be the first ones to get
Very
it.
good.
Yeah.
That is so exciting. I'm so glad that you stopped by to tell us about that today, Micah.
Great.
And we wish you continued success.
Thank you. Thank you, Betty.
And if you have another project, please come back.
Great.
Micah Bloom and Mary Gontarek talking about Codex. We're going to take this break, and when we come back, we're going to be going out on a secret garden tour.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Otto Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, I'm Rick Smith, Golf Course Superintendent of the Brooktree Golf Course. Brooktree is an 18-hole championship golf course featuring well-manicured greens, tees, and fairways. We are open to the public. I challenge you to find a better maintained golf course for the money we charge here at Brooktree. Come on out and play Brooktree, a great golf course.
Hi, this is Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better. At Amy Swain Hearing Centers, we offer many different brands of hearing instruments because everyone has a different lifestyle. Let me, Dr. Amy Swain, help you find the best hearing device for your hearing needs at Amy Swain Hearing Centers of Owatonna, Austin, and Waseca. Call 1-800-804-3361 for an appointment today, or visit my website at www.amyswainhearingcenters.com. Because you deserve to hear better.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
We are out on location at the beautiful home of Anne and Lance Cummins. They are one of the people that's on the secret garden tour that's coming up. We're going to be taking a look at their beautiful plants they have here in front and the side. Wonderfully manicured and landscaped lawn and yard that we can take a look at. And thanks for letting us come to your place today and check everything out here.
Well, I appreciate you being here.
We do want to mention that the Secret Garden Tour is coming up on Sunday, the 21st of July from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. Tickets are $10 in advance, $12 the day of the event. You can get your tickets at Cocky Jewelers and at the Arts Center. And then the day of the event, you bring your ticket to the Arts Center or purchase a ticket, and then you'll get a map. And at your leisure, you can go from one home to another and check out all the beautiful foliage and plants and flowers. So first we want to ask you, Anne, how did you get involved in, do you have a green thumb? Are you a master gardener? Is that a hobby? How did this all happen?
I'm definitely not a master gardener. I guess what I would say is that I love to decorate inside my home, so I just view this as an extension of our home and try to make it reflect both how we live and the things that are pleasing to my eye anyway.
So I'm guessing you have a very colorful home inside.
Yes,
I
do.
So why don't you tell us about some of the different plants you have here? First of all, these trees are intriguing. I love the color on them. What kind of trees are these? Or bushes?
They are, I suppose, a small tree, perhaps a large bush. They're tiger eye sumac. And they caught my eye at the garden center just because I loved the color of the foliage and the shape of the leaves, and I thought it would be a nice contrast to the other greenery.
Now, are they always this bright green, or do they change as you get toward fall?
They kind of come in limey green, and then in the fall they turn more reds and orange.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yeah.
How beautiful. Now, you have been doing this for how many years?
Well, we have been in this house for about 9 years.
Okay.
So this has been a work in progress.
First of all, we should mention your son here. He's standing in the background. We don't want to leave him out.
Yeah.
He's got some garden stuff around too. We're going to be talking to him and seeing what he's done. So it's not just flowers. There's vegetables and other little things.
He's the practical gardener in the family. He likes to have something to eat when he's done with his work.
Well, if you're going to have all this space, why not? And you've done such a wonderful job with the color. Now, are all these annuals, perennials, or have you mixed them?
I have tried. I can't tell you how many different varieties in this space. These that you see this year are primarily annuals. And they were much smaller when I started, but I use Miracle Grow about once a week, and they've really flourished in our somewhat short summer.
I was going to say, so you've been able to make up for lost time?
I'm trying.
Because you've got the sidewalk lined here. It's lined up in the back and all the way around the side. We're going to take a look at that, so stay with us. Tanner Cummins has decided that if his mom is going to have a garden, he wants some gardening done too, only he likes to eat, as she says. So Tanner, you have got several plants here. Why don't you tell us what we are seeing? What do you have along here?
We actually have cantaloupe along here. I started them from seeds about mid-May in little containers, and as they grew bigger, I just brought them into bigger pots until they were too big. So.
Now, did you have that like first? That sounds like a good school project.
Yeah, no, I just didn't really have anything else to do one day, so
industrious.
He always likes to go with me to the garden center, but he gravitates right to the seeds and the vegetables. And
what else do you have planned beside cantaloupe?
I have strawberries, asparagus, tomatoes, mint, and that's about it.
Mint, that's intriguing. Now, why did you plant mint?
My mom actually picked it out, and she just asked me to plant it.
Because there's a variety of plants there, because asparagus takes a special kind of planting, and deep down doesn't come for a while. Now, is this the first year you planted the strawberries?
Yes, it is.
So when do you think you'll be able to have enough strawberries to harvest?
Probably like next year, maybe.
Next year, a little bit more, as they grow, Yep. So should we go around the other side, and we'll take a look at some more of the beautiful plants on the back side of the Cummins house. As you can see, we are now in the backyard of the Cummins household. Beautiful backyard. And why don't you tell us what all you have up on your deck there? You have quite a variety of flowers there as well.
Well, I actually grew up in the tropics, so I tend to pot a few tropicals every year just to bring a little bit of Panama back in this warmer climate when we have it. But the idea of the deck was to create a space that mimicked the way that we live. We love to have our neighbors from all the backyards come together to have cookouts and barbecue and do s'mores over the fire. So we just tried to design a space that felt like an outdoor room to be able to do those things.
And it's multi-level, which is always nice as well,
that,
too.
again, was just an idea I had to create spaces even within the deck itself of where you might cook and serve the food and then where you might sit and so forth. So.
What about mosquitoes this year? Have you had to spray for mosquitoes? Have you had any other bugs that you've had to deal with on your plants?
On the plants, I haven't noticed a lot of bugs. Mosquitoes have been rivaled only by gnats this year. So very often we'll see a whole can of bug spray next to the trampoline as the kids try to push the daylight hours into the evening as far as they can.
Now, Tanner, where do you have your plants planted back here?
I have mine up along the back edge of the house.
Back the edge? Okay, the strawberries, because they need some partial shade, or do they flourish? Does yours flourish in full sun?
Yeah, shade and sun.
So now, did you have to do research on each plant you bought as to know what was...
No, I just looked at the tag.
Just look at the tag and just throw caution to the wind, huh?
And that's kind of the theme of our gardening is we just experiment, we buy what we think we'll like, we try it out, and if it works, we do it again, and if it doesn't, we go on to plan B.
And it's so nice back here, besides, the colorful plants you have, your neighbors also have a veggie garden too, and flowers, so it just all adds to the wonderful atmosphere in the backyard.
Yeah, Steve and Mary Ann Smith plant a very plentiful garden, which is part of why Tanner couldn't resist the opportunity to grow a few of his own, and they're kind enough to share some of their harvest each year. So it really does create a community feel.
Sometimes it can be overwhelming when your gardens come through with that.
That's right. When they're plentiful, you can only eat so much yourself.
We do have another area as we go down the side by your driveway that is beautiful as well. So we're going to go down there and take a look at those flowers. A few more veggies. You can see the cages there. Tanner, why don't you tell us what's in those cages?
In the cage with the biggest plant, we have sweet Anne peas, I believe they're called.
Okay.
And in the cage with the smaller, we have tomato. And then we also have asparagus, 3 strawberry plants, and a mint plant.
That's most of yours is right in that section there.
Yes.
So looking forward to next year and seeing what you're going to get for a crop, aren't you?
Well, and up until this year, I always would expect him to put them in pots, which worked well because the animals didn't get them. But this year, a few things died off, and so as the experiment goes, we had a new place to put his things right in the ground.
And you haven't had any little critters nibble on the... Well, that's nice.
We haven't seen much, have we, Tanner?
Now, we're standing back here in what I have not seen these before, the willow trees, but it's a particular kind of willow.
Yeah, they're called a corkscrew willow, and when we first moved in, they were maybe had the diameter of a 50-cent piece, and that was only 8 or 9 years ago, and they grow very fast. You can use in the spirit of decorating, you can use these branches as they fall down to decorate
with. Now I know, because I've seen those kind of branches before. Now I know what they're from.
Where they come from, yeah. So, and they offer shade quickly.
But you said the lifespan is probably only like 15 years, though.
Yeah, about 15.
So yeah, they're very, very shady, very nice to have. So we have to wrap up here. I'm sorry that we can't stay a little longer and show some more, but see, we don't want to show everything. We want to leave something so people will come and go on the tour. And again, we do want to remind you that the tour is coming up on Sunday the 21st from 10 until 4. Tickets are available at Kotke Jewelers and at the Arts Center. They're $10 in advance, $12 if you wait till that day to pick them up. And you go to the Arts Center if you want to get your tickets, or if you have them, pick up your maps at the Arts Center, and they will show you all the different places you can go and enjoy the beautiful gardens, as we have here with Anne and Lance Cummins. Thank you so much for having us here. We're going to return to the studio now for Leanne Alt. I'm Betty Johnson on location.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jake with Napa Auto Parts.
Napa has the know-how for all your automotive needs.
Napa is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show. Did you know that it is illegal in the city of Owatonna to host or allow a gathering where minors will be consuming alcoholic beverages on your property or in your residence? Did you know that it is illegal to provide minors with alcohol unless they are your own kids in your own home? Underage drinking leads to increased risk of future chemical dependency, engaging in more serious criminal activity, and becoming a victim of a crime. Please help keep our kids and our community safe by not encouraging, hosting, or allowing underage drinking. This is a message from the Owatonna Police Department and the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County.
We are back, and we have some announcements we'd like to pass along. Lots of things going on around the area that you may want to check out. First of all, what's very important is that Owatonna Community Blood Drive is coming up this week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at St. Joseph's Church. Wednesday and Thursday from noon until 6, and Friday 8 until 1. You can make your appointment by going online at redcrossblood.org, but walk-ins are welcome as well. And the Steele County Historical Society is presenting a Civil War documentary hosted by local author Mike Eckers and Richard Oxley of the Excelsior Lake Minnetonka Historical Society and the Hennepin Technical College, coming up on Thursday, 2013 at 6:30 in the Winger Room of the History Center. And the Secret Garden Tour, that's always fascinating every year, is a beautiful event, will be coming up. It's sponsored by the Owatonna Arts Center. It will be held on Sunday, the 21st of July, from 10 until 4 p.m. And the tour is, like I said, 10 until 4. Tickets you can be purchased at Cocky's in advance and at the Arts Center for $10. They are $12 the day of the event, and what you need to do is go to the Art Center and pick up your map so that you don't miss any of the homes on that tour. And you are invited to join naturalists to explore Riverbend Nature Centers by the light of July's full moon at an upcoming program, Night Hike, it is entitled. The program will take place on Monday, the 22nd of July from 9 until 10:30. Participants will learn about nocturnal animals and take a hike on Riverbend's trails, experiencing what life is like in the summer after the sun goes down, while keeping a sharp eye out for the nightlife that inhabits the woods, prairies, and the ponds. And the community is invited to a special Owatonna Hospital Healing Arts Program reception where you can meet the artists Tuesday, July 23rd from 4:30 until 6 p.m. Hospital artists that display their work at the hospitals. It'll be the work of Colleen Riley, our lead Rolf, Tammy Schneider, and paintings by Ryan Swery and Dan Weimer, Sarah Joan Weingartner will also be on display. Again, that is coming up Tuesday, July 23rd from 4:30 until 6 p.m. And coming up as well, July 24th to the 28th is the 5 days of fun when we have lots of things going on at the park. There is going to be crazy days as well as with the sidewalk sales. They have community bands playing and as well the Owatonna Festival of the Arts. And those are just some of the things going on this month. We do thank you for joining us. We hope you come back on Wednesday when we're going to have Mark Fitz, who's going to be along with an update from OPU, and we're going to have Connie Elmore, Karen, and Grace Thompson from the Humane Society. So we hope to see you then. For Leanne Alt, I'm Betty Johnson. Thank you for joining us on the Owatonna Today Show.